Hello, all my crafty people out there. It is time for our weekly project. If you haven't been here before, my name is Stephanie, and I upcycle clothing, generally things I find at my local thrift stores and sometimes estate sales. The pieces we're working with this week were from thrift stores. I don't know if it was American Thrift or Goodwill. I kind of toggle between the two. And the first thing we have is this Old Navy cable sweater. It's pretty plain Jane, nothing special about it. I like the color. Um, and it fits, and I've washed it, so it's in good shape. So we got this. And then we have this. It's not chambray, but it's not denim. It's kind of in between as far as the thickness of the material. But it is a two-pocket button up. I'm so sorry, y'all. I've always called it a button down. Button up shirt. It's a female shirt. It was $4.19. So I think we can combine these two and work on that, you know, trendy look that they're doing right now. We'll see. If you want to follow along, by all means do. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hype, and I will see you at the table. Okay, everybody. Here is our sweater, and I do believe this part is called cable knit, but it's a cool sweater, not anything fancy. This would be great if you wanted to repurpose an old sweater that maybe has seen better days. We are going to use the majority of the sweater though, so take that into account. This one's in good shape, but it needed a new home. And then this is the denim shirt. And I say denim, it's heavier than chambray, but it's not as heavy as like your jeans. Some are kind of in between. But I think it'll be perfect for what we need. And we're going to be using the placket, the collar, the pockets, and hopefully the cuffs. So that's the plan. But we all know how the plan gets altered sometimes. So before I cut the sweater up, I want to make that my last thing before I apply the pieces. I don't want it to ravel on me or anything like that. I want to cut the placket up and the collar. And when I do that, I'm going to leave a 1/2 inch. I think a 1/2 inch will do. A 1/2 inch seam allowance. I might leave more, maybe 3/4 of an inch, just to be generous, because we can remove, but we can't add back real easy. So I might just cut it wide. So I'm going to cut up around the collar and back down the button placket. That's where we're going to start. Here I am. I'm just using a ruler to kind of gauge that 1/2 inch seam allowance that I wanted to keep. And then I just cut it up all the way around from one end to the other. And that included the collar, of course. Okay, I've got the placket and the collar taken off of the shirt. And what I've done is I have pinned it to the outside of the sweater. So this is the right side of the sweater that we're looking at. And I pinned it right side to right side as far as the collar goes. So like when the collar comes up, it'll go like this. So I pinned it where this seam, the inside of that ribbing, that's the neckline, meets this seam, which is the collar seam, the lower part of the collar seam that meets the shirt itself. And I'm going to go over and stitch in the ditch around, and I'm going to do it from the side because I can feel that collar on the other side. But I'm going to stitch in the ditch around this neckline because it doesn't quite meet in the middle. Have to remember it's turned upside down. But it gets very close. And then the other thing I want to do is, once I've done this, before I cut anything, before I cut the collar or cut this open, I'm going to apply some of this Pellin product. It's a stretchable, fusible interfacing. And the reason I want to apply it is just to give me some stability. I'm not sure how bad this is going to fray or run, being a knit product. And we're going to learn together how bad or good it is. But I thought at least that would give me some security. If I put a big strip of it down the middle, I can tear it off if I need to. But that will give me, you know, an opportunity to cut it without it fraying everywhere. Then once I cut it, we can pull the placket down and apply it to each side. And here I am sewing at the machine. I'm sewing the collar on first. I should not have sewn as deep as I did, but you'll see later that I take out some of that seam just to make the placket fit down. Okay, I've applied the collar and it turned out good. Probably should have done that after this step, but I'm always learning. I'm going to take this interfacing, this fusible interfacing, and I'm going to run it from the collar down to the hem, or you know what I'm talking about, at the end of the sweater. And I'm going to run it this wide, just for giggles. And I'm going to use hot steam pressing to press it on. Now, I don't know how well this is going to adhere because it's a sweater and it's ribbed and really, really textured. But we're going to give it a try. We're just trying to stabilize it long enough for me to cut it open and possibly even serge it so it doesn't go fray. Okay, the interfacing went on really well, much better than I was actually expecting it to. So perfect. This gives us a good, I don't know, baseline so it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't ravel. I have not cut one of these before. I've seen it done on videos and stuff, but let's face it, we don't know if that's real. So here we go. Now I've turned it back to the right side because I think it'll be easier for us to cut if we can see this center line. See the way that the grids are, you can tell this is the center. You just count towards the middle. So I'm going to cut down that center line, and I'm going to cross my fingers on this one. This is going to be the crucial cut. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so now what we can do is we can apply this. What we'll have to do is kind of cut this down a little, almost like a V, and then we'll be able to apply um, our placket. Can't think of words today. So let me get, oh, I might have to take this up some. Yeah, I'll probably have to take this out so we can do that corner. I didn't think about that when I was sewing that on. So I'm going to take the seam out up to like behind the buttonhole because we need to turn it. That's what I wasn't thinking about that. I really should have waited to put that on there, but impatience. Okay. Okay, I've got it pinned down and I just had to turn my collar back to where it was. The tricky part is this turn in the, where the lapel is or the collar meets the placket, whatever. So I had to split that. I don't know if I can see. I didn't go all the way up to the stitching, but I did split it enough to where this would give some easement into its position. Now, the other thing that's kind of tricky, because when I pull it like this, I'll be able to sew it straight. Now, it's not wide enough to close up on the actual sweater collar, so I'm having to kind of make a V here. And when I'm doing that, I want to make sure that this second buttonhole and button land in the right spot so they're together. So I kind of positioned them. I counted my design and positioned them on the third, whatever that is, cable or part of the design. And then as I go down, I check and make sure that when I get to the end down here, that these buttons and buttonholes also line up. Now I'm going to have more than I need for the sweater, so I'll probably just hem that end. Not usually something I worry about doing, but I'll probably just serge it off and hem it up. But I'm going to get it on here first before I do that. Just think it would be better. So, because sometimes I worry about the stretch and I don't want to cut it too short too fast. Remember, it's hard to add.
Here I am just sewing down that placket, and I went up one side and down the other side. It was pretty straight stitching.
Okay, that went in a lot better than I was expecting because of the little turn in the collar. But once all that's turned under, or cut off in this case, I think it's gonna look super cute. Now, I am going to probably take this, if it can handle the bulk, to the serger and serge from one end all the way around to the other. The thing I'm worried about is this collar. So, I may cut into it and like cut half of it out to reduce the bulk and see if that helps, because I'm worried about eating my serger up with that bulk. But that way I can serge off this corner and secure this a little. I mean, it's secure right now, but give it a nice finished edge. So that's in my thought process. The next thing we got to worry about though is these cuffs. And the cuff on the shirt is obviously larger because this is tapered and ribbed than the cuff on the sweater. It is not significantly different. I mean, I could make it fit and just take off the ribbed cuff portion. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because I don't think I could do it that way. I think I'm going to do it this way. But let's get the cuffs off the shirt first and see what we're dealing with. And while I'm taking the cuffs off, I will also take off the two pockets and see what we can do with those. We're going to use most of this shirt.
Here I am taking the cuffs off. I'm leaving that placket for right now, but I don't think we're going to end up using it. We'll see. And I'm making a generous cut around the pockets.
Okay, let's talk about the cuffs for a minute. The cuffs are your typical cuffs. They open, they have that little placket area, so you can undo them with a little more ease since they don't have stretch. Now, that's not going to really work on this because I can't get this piece to go down on the outside because of the way we have to sew it on. Trust me on this, I've tried to think it through and it's not going to work. And I don't want the rough edges of the sweater tied down to this piece. So here's my solution. When I button this, regardless of this part, I have no trouble getting my hand in and out of this button sleeve. This does not play a part in it. And I have plenty of room, you see. So it might be something that you want to think about. Make sure that these cuffs work together and that you have enough room without this extra ease in this little placket here. And this is why. You're going to have to turn it inside out. I tried to get this to work, but that's that. If you can get it to work, go for it. I just couldn't do it with this being on the outside of the sleeve, only on the inside. So you've got to match up this bottom seam with this bottom seam, and your buttons go in the back of your sleeve, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to shove your little sleeve in here, and then you're kind of blind. But that's why I unbutton mine. But essentially what I want to do is I want to take off this ribbed edge and replace it with my cuff. I originally cut it with this placket in mind, but now we're going to cut it down to about a 1/2 inch all the way around the cuff.
In cutting this off, I'm leaving about a 1/2 inch to work with.
So now there's my cuff, and this will be easier to apply this way without all that bulk. But I wanted to show y'all why I couldn't do it with the bulk. Still meeting our seams here. and going around, and we're going to pin it back on. This will make it a lot easier for us to see. Okay, one more thing before I go over there and sew it. I did test it. I cut a hole in this ribbing right here on the end of the sleeve. It's not fraying, so I think I'm going to go ahead and cut around because I cannot get in here or on here without uh, something being removed. So I'm going to remove around the edge, and then I'm actually going to pin it back on, just so I don't cut too deep into the ridge. But I think this will help put it on. It's just a tight spot. It's too small to go over the arm, like you would use on a regular sleeve. My arm is not big enough. I mean, it's too big for even this cuff. So let's be brave. We'll cut both of these sleeves.
Okay, I cut the sleeves off one at a time, and I just used the first one to gauge how much to cut off on the second one. And then I just sewed them on. Again, the arm's not, it's not small enough for me to put that sleeve over, so I had to sew it this way, with it unbuttoned, of course.
Okay, everybody. Not bad, huh? I'm pretty excited. It turned out like I wanted it to. I did not put the pockets back on because they were too big and they kind of covered up the whole sweater idea. So I think I'm really liking this. The only problem is Wednesday it's going to be 80 degrees. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to wear it. But it is a good project, and it's a good way to save a couple of shirts or sweaters that you want to save. And you can even size up, depending on how much of the shirt you included. So it's an adjustment option too. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, by all means, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Don't forget the hype, and I will catch y'all on the flip side of our next project.